All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, want to give all honor and glory to Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem, Rakak Kwadash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to the hopeful elect. And Lord, when this lesson be edifying to so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, who consist of the 12 tribes of Israel. It's your fellow servant Yahawah from the GMS Orlando camp. And Lord, when this lesson be edifying, all right? So let's get right into it, man. Okay, this is John chapter 15, verse 1. It is something that, I'm just here, hitting it through the spirit, Lord willing, to grasp something, and it hits something for somebody, somebody benefits from it, and I'm gonna title this, man, are you in the fight? Are you in the fight? If you getting hit, then you in the ring, my boy. If you're going through, trials and tribulations and, things don't look easy, and, trying times upon you on this season. You in that fight, man. You getting physical contact, man. That's what I'm trying to say. Whether it be an uppercut, a leg kick, or a punch, whatever, a jab. You in the fight, and that's a good thing, man. That's a good thing. All right, that is a good thing, man. That means you are in the fire, and the Lord haven't done away with you yet, man. But if you in the fight, if you think you in the fight and you haven't been hit, you haven't been touched up, ain't nobody touch your jaw, ain't nobody touch your legs, ain't nobody touch your stomach and give you a gut shot, then you might not, you're not in the fight. Okay, and I'm talking about, the different turmoils that we're going to go through in this lifetime, man, before we make it to the kingdom. Okay, all right. This is, at the top it says, Yahawashi is the vine, okay? Followers are branches, okay? We are extensions of Yahawashi, man. We enter into his labors and other men up under him, okay? This is John chapter 15, verse 1. I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman. Verse 2, every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away. And every branch that beareth fruit, he purgeth it, that it may bring forth more fruit, okay? Now, one thing you're going to notice about the scriptures is that it's likened into farming. Okay, a lot of hard work out there farming. A lot of bumps and bruises. This is farming work. It's not easy. Okay, all right, but it reaps, great benefits. All right, in the worldly sense, in the spiritually sense too. It reaps benefits, man. You laying up treasures in the spiritual side. You laying up treasures in Yahawashi, man. Okay, on the physical side, for a farmer out there, plowing the ground, doing this thing, plants, he's going to reap those plants and those crops, man. He won't have to go to the store and spend a fucking fortune. All right, but it says here, every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away. And every branch that beareth fruit, he purgeth it, that it may bring forth more fruit. All right, before I get that definition from purge, I want to go ahead and bounce to verse 3. Now ye are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you, man. Verse 4, abide in me, and I in you, as the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, man. You can't come up some other way, man. It's only the straight gate, the straight door, man. You gotta, that path is narrow. That only man can go by one at a time, roughly paraphrasing. Okay, it's a serious path that we taking, man. But it's also very beneficial, man. Okay, very beneficial. All right. Abide in me, and I in you, as the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, except it abide in the vine. Right. No more can ye, except ye abide in me. And that's the truth, man. We need Yahawashi for everything. That's why, this last Passover, man, brothers was harking on how, the message of reconciliation through this word, through Yahawashi, man, this is very important through Yahawashi. Okay. It's the reason why we got back with the Father, man. This whole ceremony is beautiful. All right. Now, this word purge, let me hit that. Hopefully you heard that. Let me see.
Strong's G 5342. Pharaoh.
All right, Pharaoh. Okay, have you been Pharaoh? All right. It says to carry some burden. All right, that purge. Yeah, federal. Yeah. Hold on. Let me make sure that I hit the right word. Okay, Slovakia. Hey, we might have to hit on that too. That's a good, way it was looking. So I'm gonna come back to that definition.
Strong's G 2508. Kathairo. Kathairo.
Cathido. Okay. Cathido. All right. This is the word purge. Purgeth in John 15. Okay. It says to cleanse of filth and purity, man. Because we on this side, we can't get. We gotten back. The Lord went us back over with grace and mercy. Through grace and mercy, man, we obtained the adoption. Okay. To cleanse of filth and purity, etc. To prune trees and vines from useless shoots. Okay. And that's you being in that fight, man. That's you being in that fight. Being constantly, impured of filth. That tree that Yahawashi is pruning. Okay, pruning to prune trees and vines from useless shoots. Okay, people that's things that might grow up and try to stumble you. Okay, but there's no stumble block for the elect, man. Okay, all right. So the Lord's gonna constantly, trim you up. Make sure you continue to push forth, to grow fruit. All right, verse 2, metaphor from guilt to expatiate, man. And that's why we're so beautiful, man, because the Lord freed us from guilt, man. Somebody might come up to us, man, and, you still sin. You know what, man? Listen, we don't go chasing it. But through these fucking dark chains of flesh, man, we go off, Okay, and we repent. See, that's the difference, man. And we repent to the true God, to the true power, man. That's showing that contrite heart. See, you might say we're the same, but we ain't the same because first off, you don't even got the names. You don't even got the names to initiate, to apologize, initiate that apology, to the Lord Yahawashi because you don't have the names. So you can't put us in the same category, man. It says, who are you to judge another man's servant? Okay? So you gotta watch out there, you people out there, man. Okay. Down here at the bottom says to cleanse, an example, especially to prune, figuratively to expiate, purge. Okay. So that's beautiful right there, man. All right. And that's what's gonna happen in the process of fighting. Okay. Are you in this fight? Is the Lord purging you, man? Can you feel, that the Lord is stripping away, the things that's, not useful to your life? Okay, can you feel that? All right. Or is the Lord, or are you continuing on doing folly and wickedness and shit? What is it? Because if you ain't getting touched up, man, like I said in the beginning, you're not in the fight. And it's a great thing to be in this fight, man. And look at that. Okay, look at that. I ain't even mean to get this next, but here we go. Acts chapter 14, verse 22. Okay, where they strengthened the believers. They encouraged them to continue in the faith, reminding them that we must suffer many hardships to enter the kingdom of Yahawah. Okay, we must suffer many hardships. Now let me get that King James version because it sounds familiar to the brothers. This is Acts chapter 14, verse 22 in the KJV. Okay, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must through much tribulation enter the kingdom of Yahawah, man. You ain't gonna get in there easy, man. Okay, the Lord is working on you, and if he ain't, man, it's a problem because the scriptures tell us, man. The scriptures tell us, the scriptures tell us. You know what I mean? And let me get the famous Hebrews chapter 12, verse 7, the King James version. If ye endure chastening, Yahawah dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the father chasteneth not? Man, that motherfucker, hey, I ain't the pappy. So the Lord, the Lord, like in that Birdie Mac movie, man, the Lord is saying, man, they're my child, man. I the pappy. This my child. And I'm gonna whoop his ass. You can't tell me how I'm gonna whoop his ass. Esau can tell you, how to handle your children and shit. But the Lord got a whole different program, man. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 7, as you endure this divine discipline, remember that Yahawah is treating you as his own children. Okay? Whoever heard of a child who was never disciplined by his father? Okay? That's very important. Now, I might want to get that definition now. I want to get to